Your dad was obviously into quality.
It's a 15450 ST.
We lost the papers and then came and sold us the watch back.
It'll be the cheapest in the world.
Not everything that glistens is gold.
8,500 and the white 11,450.
It's less than the retail price. It is £1,200.
Gentlemen, I believe it inherited the watch.
I prefer the older one, to be honest.
The ceramic one's for a younger, more trendy person, and then you've got an old man like Jack wearing the non-ceramic one.
It's going to be a proper Marmite watch. You're either going to love it or hate it. I think it's going to be too good.
So John, Monday has rolled around again.
It has. And we have a couple of brand new watches just to go through. The first one, it is a Tudor Black Bay Pro.
Black Bay Pro. This one looks heavily inspired by the Steve McQueen Explorer.
Nice little watch. Everything with it. Plenty of stickers.
So where are these at in the market right now? Are they around a little bit over retail?
Quite a bit. Like that and the 39mm Pelagos seem to be very popular. Don't think they're available from Tudor, and they're trading for a little bit over list. So list price for that is, I think, 3,170, and for a fully stickered brand new one we are retailing that for 3,750. So it's not a great deal over, but I suppose it's 15-20% over still. This one is one of my favourites. It is a blue Royal Oak 37mm. It's a 15450 ST, and I just think it's a very nice size. That's the right size. You could forget it's on. I just think it's really nice. So that's a 2022, and we will be advertising this. It'll be the cheapest in the world. It will be £37,950. If you look on Chrono, they're anywhere from 40, 50, 60, 70. I can't imagine they're selling for that price, but that one is very good value. I think it's a Tag Formula 1 with the red hands. Nice little watch for somebody. It's less than the retail price. It is £1,200.
Is that a quartz watch or is it an automatic?
I believe it is a quartz watch. It is one of 500. Limited edition, number 377. Another one there, we have an Omega Seamaster. An older watch. Again, it has the box. It doesn't have any papers. It's a nice little watch for somebody for around the £2,000 mark. Nice little ladies watch there coming up to Christmas. It has like a salmon pink dial. It has a aftermarket diamond bezel, diamond dots on the numbers, and that it is an older watch, so it's around, I think it's 1988, but again priced accordingly. It's £4,500.
And will that one come with papers, or is that a watch?
It doesn't have papers, but it, as you can see, priced accordingly. It would be £1,000 more if it did. It has a box and our warranty. A couple of Daytonas. So I haven't for a while seen black ceramic Daytonas for under the £25,000 mark. This is 24,950. It's a 2020 model with a new card, and it's very good value. We've sold these probably up to 35,000 this year, so it's very well priced.
I can see you've got the previous generation next to it.
There's another one there, very good condition for its age. I believe it's 2013 from memory. This is a non-ceramic version, very similar. I think this one's probably a bit more sporty. That one's more of a classic look. That one is less than 23,000, 22,950. So I think both of these have been very high 20,000s, and these have been 30 plus. So they're good value again. That, along with the white one, is probably the most sought after sports Rolex.
It's cool to see that even if you say own this one, with the newer model out, it's not that much difference in price.
I prefer the older one, to be honest.
Yeah?
I think the ceramic one's for a younger, more trendy person, and then you've got an old man like Jack wearing the non-ceramic one.
Yeah, no, I do like the charm of the old one.
Me too. I think I do. I like the black one as well. I think the white one stands out a lot more. But if you look at them both, with the red writing of the Daytona, the dial's pretty much identical. And then again we have An Oyster Batman, this is a 2017. This will be listed as 14,450, and again, it's the cheapest Oyster Batman we've had for a good while.
So what now happens with these watches that have come in?
Brand new ones have been photographed today. They should be advertised within 24 hours. With these ones, unless it's something like that, which we probably won't polish, we give the person who we sell it to the choice. Everything else will be lightly touched up professionally to Rolex standard, and it'll be on the website before the end of the week.
Good morning, Harry. Here we are again. Got a few little boxes in Watch Trader today. That's the repairs to do box, nothing in it.
Empty.
And that's the repairs done box, which is quite full.
And you just tip them in your bag, the repairs to do.
Yeah.
Under the table. Under the table.
I've put this one on my wrist and everything, but no. How long does a repair take? How much does a repair cost?
Well, how long's a piece of string, I guess?
How long's a piece of string? I'm going to try and break it down, but I'm going to show you a watch that's just been serviced, a watch that was serviced a few weeks ago, and the gentleman has decided to sell it. We bought this watch, which is a vintage Omega, and it'll go live today for sale. The watch that we were talking about is a brand that I've worn myself, a brand that's synonymous with jewellery more than watches, and it's Bulgari. I've just gone around the shop and asked everybody individually what they thought the watch was worth. There were some very cheeky little comments put out there. This watch, when it was new, and I think it'll probably be about 10 to 12 year old, would have been about £3,500. In today's market, it's probably worth around £1,800. The watch needed servicing. There was an issue with one of the winding gears. One of the big questions that I'm always asked is, hey, I took my watch off on Friday night. Saturday morning when I got up, it had stopped. That tells you that your watch needs a service. This watch has cost slightly more to service than a vintage Omega, which has a value which is a treble, quadruple. This watch came in for service about a month ago. The gentleman, I believe, had inherited the watch. On the paperwork, it's dated for 1979. When you take the back off, it's got a 1978 stamp. So we've talked about this before. It was manufactured in 1978. It hung about for a little while like watches used to, and it was sold in 1979. So birth years, it's got 79 on the paperwork. It's a 78 watch if you were 78 or 79 birth year. The gentleman actually sent me a Trustpilot review saying how happy he was with the service. He'd been previously quoted £400-500 to sort this watch out, and we did it for £250. The gentleman specifically asked that the watch not be refurbed, not polished, because it's in original condition. It's never been refurbed, it's never been polished. This was purchased yesterday and will go online hopefully today. Anybody out there that's looking for iconic, we talked about this last time, there are icons. It's John's sale, so John's just prompting me. It's going live at £6,950 and it'll be available online and in store to purchase today. This watch today, the customer will be informed that it has been fully serviced. The bill for this watch is £225. So you've got a watch that's worth a couple of grand, let's say, and you've got a watch that's worth, I've seen them advertised for up to 10 grand recently, so it's very competitively priced at £6,950, but it's cost virtually the same to service. Parts, believe it or not, are so readily available for Omega. This has an ETA movement in. They are easy to get a hold of, but it's sometimes identifying the parts. Rolex, Omega, everything has a number, everything has a reference. It's very easy. When you're ordering parts on a regular basis, you get to know what they are.
The 42mm white Explorer, they call it the Polar.
Polar dial.
Polar dial, that's right. Also, we have the same in black. We don't know of the year. We sold this watch to a customer. He lost the papers and then came and sold us the watch back. Between the dials, if this was to have papers, the white is still a little bit more money.
Yeah.
With it not having papers, something like this is going to be listed for 8,500, and the white with papers, 2022 unworn condition, is listed for 11,450.
The customer was asking before, what's the difference when you take it back to Rolex? If it doesn't have the papers, there is no difference.
There is no difference, so you can take it back to Rolex. They obviously know that it's an authentic watch. They'll take it away, service it, and what you'll receive when it comes back from Rolex is a service papers, which will include the serial number, the reference, and what date the service was dated. That can tend to help the watch sell.
Of course, yeah. Well, it's the second best thing, isn't it? Like,
it is, yes.
You can't ever get the papers reissued. That's
Never.
the thing. And what is the prediction for the Newcastle-Chelsea match later?
Ooh.
2-1. 2-1 in Newcastle.
I've got a slight little accumulator on, so I've got a treble on Newcastle, Liverpool and Spurs, but for the Newcastle game, I'm gonna say 1-0 Newcastle.
1-0.
So
Who to score?
Miguel Miron. So we'll play it back, Harry, and we'll see who was right. 2-1.
And if there's any Chelsea fans watching, unlucky.
Is this watch going to be a watch that you'll wear?
Part of the collection, really.
Yeah. So you will wear it. Yeah. It's not just going to go in a safe.
I've had this for 12 years.
Yeah.
Really?
10 years.
It doesn't
10
look. It doesn't look.
Yeah,
have
it
you ever
doesn't-
had it polished or anything like that? No.
Doesn't
I think
look
that's
heavily
good.
worn,
You should
yeah.
just keep it as is. It's nice to have it in original condition like that.
I think this is sentimental value.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like you've.
Did you buy it for like an occasion, like a work related or a
Work
birthday?
related, yeah.
Yeah.
Work related.
A success at work, yeah.
Success at work, yeah.
Well, you would have bought that when you could actually relatively easily buy a watch like that, yeah?
You just walk in and
And it was in
Back
the window.
now. It's a very clean watch,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's very clean.
I believe he bought it in Saudi Arabia. He worked over there in the 80s. I've got no papers, all I've got is the
Yeah.
original box.
What is it? Is it gold plated, John? Or are you
It is,
thinking that-
yes. They
yeah.
made them not exactly the same, but they made them in solid gold and they made them in gold plate. If you look the back of the case, is stainless steel. The clasp in the inside is stainless steel, and it's actually got the day and the date. It's about 30 years old, did you think?
I think so, yes.
What I think's probably more appropriate is getting the expert to have a look at it.
So this is what's called being put on the spot.
Okay.
Right, so anything that I may say in the next couple of minutes, right, okay. Sorry, I've just gone over to the coffee shop. The boys always say, whenever there's a vintage watch comes in or an old watch, I always say, oh, that's lovely, I like that. I'm into watches,
Yeah,
I'm into
okay,
old
that's fine,
watches.
yeah.
So, what would you like to know about your watch?
All I know is that it's an Omega Seamaster.
Yeah.
All I know is that my father bought it in Saudi. And it's been gathering dust for the last 15, 16 years since he died in a box. I don't wear it. I've got a Rado watch. I've got others.
So, when your dad was in Saudi,
Yeah.
and he's toddled along to the local shop, or it might have even been at the time, it might have been
It was a jeweller's in a place called Hofuf.
Yeah.
It's a huge jewellery centre.
yeah. What sometimes happened back in those days, that it was like a military base, or they had oil workers compounds. So sometimes the jewellers would come to you, so they would come to the oil refinery. They would, you had billets, or you had
Lived on a camp.
Yeah, lived on a camp, which was always very secure. This is pre-kidnap days. This is pre-extorting oil
This
workers.
is when Aramco was part owned by the Americans.
Yeah.
And it
was
was
very, very wealthy
It
company.
was only
Very,
until
very wealthy
1986, I believe, when fully became Arab owned.
So, going along to a jeweller's at the time, I always try to make likenesses. I always try to give somebody like a reference. So, this may have been in a window here, and in the window next to it, it might have been the Rolex section. So, this is an automatic with a date function, exactly the same as a Rolex. The difference would have been that the value. I still say today that the quality of this is just as good. This isn't 18 carat.
No, I'm fully aware of that.
What you sometimes get, and an old saying, not everything that glistens is gold.
Absolutely.
The way that you tell instantly, and obviously we're doing a little bit of a YouTube, so I do like to waffle on a little bit. If the back is stainless steel, it denotes that it's not gold. If the back had been gold and this bit had been gold, it would have been solid.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would have been a lot heavier.
It would have had a hallmark as well.
Yeah.
He's also got an Omega DeVille.
So a latte watch, what
That's the-
DeVille is, it's the dress range.
Like the Cellini equivalent.
Cellini, it's the dress watch. Very, very thin.
as can be.
Because we went through a phase where all of the watch companies try to outdo each other with thin watches. So an Omega DeVille would be. My dad was an engineer, so my dad always worked on quality of things, which lo and behold, he was always a Ford Capri. He was a Ford fan. And then in 1978, 1979, we tottled off to a garage which had Toyota outside. And my dad bought a Toyota Celica. And the reason he bought the Toyota Celica is he'd never come across anything so well made, so quick. The brakes, the suspension, which is then how Toyota became one of the leading lights in the rally world.
My dad was
So
the same with Saab.
your dad was obviously into quality because he's looked at the Rolex, which is flash, and he's looked at a watch that would have been probably a third of the value, maybe even a quarter of the value, and thought, right, well, that watch, quality-wise, because I mean, I think this is probably, I know John said in the minute, I don't know whether you know what year it is. I would say this would be early 70s.
As old as that. I'm going circa 1980, maybe slightly older.
So let's go in the middle. I'm saying early 70s. So let's say around about 1975.
Yeah.
There's one little kink there, but that's acceptable. That link there, the pin's just going to fracture. So if you decide, I can sort that out for you for like 20, 30 quid. It seems to be working fine. It's like brand new. We've just done this with another watch this morning.
Literally, I took it out of the box this morning, I changed the date, changed the time, and next thing I knew, it's ticking away.
Yeah.
And it's been in a box for the best part of 10 years.
Yeah, so that's a credit to the quality of the watch.
Oh,
it just
absolutely.
needs a little. I mean, what you can't do with these, with them being plate, is if you start polishing it, you'll polish through. And what you'll find is some of the links are a little bit more worn than the others, but it's just a lovely old wristwatch.
It looks to me, design language wise, like it would have sat alongside the Oyster Quartz Rolex.
Yeah.
The shape of the case shape and whatnot.
It's just classic. Do you mind if I just put it on my wrist?
Be my guest.
Sure.
I didn't catch the actual start of the conversation you had with John, but is it something that you're looking to service or is it something you're looking to sell?
I was
Or?
looking to sell it, to be fair.
It's smart, it's clean looking, isn't it? It's smart.
As I say, that's the original box.
I would say, in relation to value, it's only worth between 200 and 300 quid. It doesn't have, if it had been gold, it would be worth 3,000 to 4,000. The fact that it works, the fact that it doesn't really need any work. If I bought this, I wouldn't sell it. I'd keep it.
Right.
What you need to do is weigh up the sentiment to
absolutely.
what it's worth.
Absolutely.
I wish I was telling you that it was worth X number of pounds,
That's why I come here
and
for.
that you were going to toddle off to the Bahamas and have a fantastic, I would like to think one day, I was doing this conversation, we did a Rolex Comex about a year ago, and the gentleman has paid for his whole family to go and visit family in Australia. It was £70,000. That's like getting towards the Holy
absolutely,
Grail.
yeah.
That's finding a Renoir or a Rembrandt in a barn in France and then selling it for millions.
A question I would have is, how much would that have retailed for originally?
It would have been in mid-70s, it probably would have retailed for about £180.
Which today's equivalent might have been...
So today's equivalent from
Your
75,
modern day Seamasters, you're looking.
£4,000.
Yeah.
That's where that's
Something like
the
that.
equivalent.
So that's
to do that today, so put it into context of what my dad was earning at the time, because he was working for one of the highlights of the oil industry. Yeah, so it's all relative. So I'll finish up on the box is as desirable as the watch. So if I was to purchase it from you, I would give you 300 quid for the box and the watch. So we'll leave that with you.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you can decide. Yeah.
So Harry just had a customer in. He didn't give us a call, just a walk in, and he sold us a Datejust 41 Wimbledon on the Jubilee. A very popular watch, especially with a Jubilee. It's a 2019, but if you have a look at the condition, it's very good. So it hasn't been overly worn. The bezel is still very sharp.
The good thing about a watch like that is, if you look, like Billy said, case is very sharp, bracelet's very fresh. With a light polish, that'll be as good as new. If it was 2022, you'd probably be looking at around the 13,000 mark. That's 2019, so it's 3 years older, but to look at, it's no different. You're probably looking at less than 12,000, maybe 11,500. And to look at, it's no different. Wimbledon dial's always been very popular, and it's a nice mix. It's like a grey, rhodium, slate.
The 2019 has the old card, of course, which is the white and green and gold, and the 2022 has the green, the full green and gold with a gold ring. So that's the only difference. So
just to clarify there though, that watch doesn't quite have as much warranty, does it? Because the old cards came with 2 years.
Yes.
But you do get a year with any watch that you buy from Watch Trader.
Yeah, so we'll always offer you a 1 year warranty, no matter if the watch is brand new with us at Watch Trader. So with the old cards you only get 2 year, but now Rolex have brought in with the new cards you get now 5 years warranty. If anything happens internally, we would always ask you to bring it back to us.
Another watch which I think we should show, because it's a one that's age related. It's a watch that the bracelet snapped at the head. I have lasered the end links and I've put sleeves in and serviced and refurbed the watch. I think the lady's had it for some time. Watch is in lovely condition, but it has got wear just due to age, just due to wear. She's only had the watch back 2 or 3 weeks and one of the pins snapped again. So I've put a thicker pin in, I've put a heavier sleeve in. If it does it again, we've got to look at sourcing a new bracelet or a better condition bracelet. What I'm going to do is, when the lady comes in to collect it, make sure she's not wearing the watch too tight or too slack, because too slack is as dangerous as wearing too tight. They both stretch the bracelet. Mm-hmm. You always like a little watch roll, a little wrist roll.
Sure, yeah. What?
So, and we've... Oh, whoa! Here's Jack. Jack Boy Slim just come out the back.
I sell a bit of merch in here, you know, a bit of merch.
So, John noticed it first thing this morning when I came in. I've just sold the exact watch in steel and gold. Mm-hmm. And bought this off a customer. It's about a year old. Great bit of kit. Like any Cosmograph, like any Daytona, you know, it's still a Cosmograph. Mm-hmm. It's a Tudor Daytona. Give me your thoughts, because I've worn a black one recently, and white is always more popular in the Daytona Rolex. But I think it looks really fresh, white with the black subdials.
Is that bigger than the normal Daytona, isn't it?
It's 42 mil.
You'll suit that new Deepsea, you.
So I've only heard of one customer's been asked to go in, try it on. I've said to him, please, when you go in, take a picture of it on your wrist. Yeah, I think it's only an exhibition piece.
Right.
And
like walking on like that.
Yeah. And he's been told that he'll get it for January.
Right.
Anybody got one yet? Anybody know of anybody yet? Please send a message in. I'm a watch aficionado. It's going to be a proper Marmite watch. You're either going to love it or hate it. I think it's going to be two.
Some boxes that came this morning, Harry. First of all, we have Bimetal Sea Dweller, 43mm, yellow gold and steel. That is 2022. That will be retailing for 15,450. Full set, everything with it. in
It's only a touch above retail, that, isn't it? So
It is. It's
you're
about,
in the market for one.
It's about 14,500, 14,400 maybe from Rolex. So it's good value. It's a sports model and it's not a great deal over the Rolex retail price. 36mm. It's like a purple colour.
Call it
Called
grape, don't they?
grape. Yeah, they did like a.
I think actually that's a 39mm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Let me have a look. Yeah, you're right. Actually,
Again, not
so-
trying to be smart, just
No, that's fine. 2020, they made a red grape, which is like I say, more of a purple colour, and they made a white grape, which is like a, I don't know, like a champagne bronzy
Yeah.
sort of colour.
exactly. Yeah.
That is completely unworn, brand new. It's a 2020. I think it was discontinued around that sort of time. So
From what I
it's-
understand, these really weren't popular when you could buy them. But then when they released the new Oyster Perpetuals, a lot of people wanted these watches because they're 39 as opposed to the 41, which some people might think's a bit big.
yeah, I think that's a unisex watch.
So what do they go for now? Is it around?
One of the last ones, we will be advertising that for 7,450. I haven't seen one of those probably for 12 months, and the last one I had sold straight away. This one is brand new 2022
That was pre-sold. That was an order. Somebody
bimetal
was-
Daytona with a black dial. Yeah, like Jack says, pre-sold order and around the 21,000 mark. Again, full set, completely unworn. I like it in black.
And this is going to a lady as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and I think the 40mm watch is becoming more and more popular as a lady's size. Now something very unusual. So it is AP Royal Oak offshore chronograph and coated black and diamond encrusted. I've seen nothing like it. If you want something a little bit different, it
reminds me of a Stingray strap. You know, on some dress watches you get that Stingray. Well, it's Stingray leather, I guess.
These plain, so without being coated black, I haven't any diamonds on it, retail from between 20 and 25,000. This is something different, and I think it will be the right side of 20,000 for us to retail. Comes as a full set. It is a 26170 ST 2011, and I like it. What do you think?
I think it's a niche watch.
It is.